Hello and welcome to another edition of UFO Video Addicts. Let me give you a preview of what I got coming up in this video. The first is a video that was actually posted 8 months ago, but just recently reposted, of these three lights coming down. And, this is a maneuver that has happened several times over several different states. This is a video from 2016 that shows a UFO entering Earth's atmosphere. This is a video from 1950s talking about people seeing UFOs. This video here, I'm not too sure whether or not it's real, but apparently it shows these guys getting attacked by some strange creatures. Yeah, I'm going to assume that it's some kind of like maybe a promotion for a game or something. I don't know. This video is about hospice workers talking about similar experiences that people have before they die, and how they talk about they see family members either a couple days or weeks before they die. They start seeing family members or other things like little kid sees a horse or a dog and things like that. This is a 4K video of the surface of Mars. A few days ago, I had posted a video. I think it was like a bad or low quality video, where some guy was claiming that this here is a flying saucer or something, or a source of light, and that this is a possible structure. And looking at this, it's hard for me to disagree. Let's see. I have this article here about the UFO, the wreckage hidden by the Pentagon. The confirmation of DIA after the revelation of DeLong, formerly of Blink-182 metamaterials. And again, the people who are still talking about disclosure, I don't understand how this isn't disclosure. The fact that, our military is releasing information that we do have strange materials. Let's see, this article here is about some author who claims that there's a 200,000-year-old ancient city. And, exactly, I've said this before, everything we've been taught about our progression and evolution and things like that, it's all wrong. We've learned so much now, and we have so much better equipment to test things that, we're finding out a lot of the stuff that people assumed in the past, but they were just completely wrong. And then last is this article about underground city of lizard people. Apparently, while they were putting in the freeways of around Los Angeles, or putting in some roads, they came across tunnels that were supposedly used by lizard people, according to some of the Indians that lived around there. But anyways, let me get to this first video here. Let's check this out. Now, this video here where you see, these lights, people want to say that it's flares or something, but yeah, flares just don't stop, like that in midair and then start making formations. Look at that one. This one here just appeared out of nowhere. And this little maneuver here, I've seen videos of this happening in several different states. So, don't know what that is. Link will be in the description. Let's see. This is from 2016. It just shows this object entering Earth's atmosphere. Let me turn this music down. Yeah, this is not the best quality video, but you can obviously see something there. Well, it is. It's at 720, but it's... Here, let me show you what it actually from a far view. This could be just like a probe or something. But yeah, we're not alone on this planet. Our neighbors are putting up a lot of things. And, here's something that goes back. This is before, I think, the CIA, whatever, put a clamp down on any reporting of UFOs. People back in the 50s apparently were reporting UFOs all the time. Check this out.
The flying saucer, a 20th century mystery, cannot be ignored. The strange discs have been reported by sober Americans since 1947. Just what did these people see? Man has dreamt of flight, of conquering gravity from ancient times to the present. In imagination, he has traveled the skies in fantastic machines. 50 years ago, this flying saucer was an illustration for H.G. Wells' War of the Worlds. The flying saucers, things of fantasy. Some say they're natural objects, meteors or bright stars, transformed by imagination into discs of mystery. Others say the saucers are weather balloons, common enough in the sky and easily mistaken for a disc. These theories were checked when the armed forces investigated the flying saucers. Admiral Calvin Bolster of the Navy's Bureau of Aeronautics gives his conclusion.
These balloons might explain isolated cases of circular-shaped, unidentified objects flying at altitudes, extreme altitudes that have been reported. However, I do not feel that these balloons explain the majority of the so-called flying saucer sightings that have appeared in the press.
People saw something. Something, not a balloon, not a meteor, not a hallucination. Reliable witnesses have sighted them over nearly every major city, along our air lanes, over secret research areas. In True magazine, Commander Robert McLaughlin, a Navy guided missiles expert...
Did you hear what he just said? You want to stop this real quick? He said over secret research facilities. Yeah, because they're checking out what we're doing. And, this... Let me show you this. I think what's interesting here is the way, people back during this time talked. I mean, just imagine how someone, that this guy's age today would describe what he saw.
The saucers stayed still for approximately 40 seconds and then took off due north horizontally. From the dead stop, these saucers exceeded a rate of 500 miles an hour for approximately 5 seconds, still going horizontally due north towards the Santa Catalina Mountains. At the end of 5 seconds, they went at approximately 45 degrees straight, up.
Did you hear? He said he saw them going towards the Santa Catalina Mountains. I mean, how many reports have there been around that area? And then this video also, I think, this is supposedly the first time a UFO is filmed. Let me see. Let me start it right about here.
Exclusive motion picture films from Louisville, Kentucky. The first scenes ever made of a flying saucer. Note the white halo around the saucer, an effect reported by some observers. Slightly irregular in shape, the disc appears to be rotating and to possess a dancing motion against the background.
Yeah, I bet you that glowing effect is, it's a result of its propulsion system or its anti-gravity system. But anyways, the link to this will be in the description. You should check it out. This video, I don't know, but I'm going to lean towards fake, hoax. But anyways, just check this out. Yeah, I think that was a body being thrown back into that door, and then watch when I think there's a body. I think that's the body being thrown back in through the door. Yeah, if this is special effects, that's some pretty good special effects. And then I don't know what's going on there, but like I said, don't know what's going on in this video. Video recorded in Russia, strange creatures attack some people. I went through this to try and, figure out if it's maybe a part of like a game promotion. Couldn't find anything. If anyone knows, love to hear about it in the description. But let's check out this video here. This video talks about different stories that hospice workers have had when they deal with people who are coming towards the end of their life. But anyways, the quality of this video is, again, it's not that great, but just check out this one little story here that she tells.
I had a kid that I lost last week who saw horses, that he saw a horse, and his dream was about 2 weeks before he died. He was on this big brown horse, and they were going through this field, and it was very smooth. It wasn't like a gallop, but they weren't flying. And he said that all of a sudden they kind of jumped over a barrier, and when they landed in a riverbank that had overflowed its beds, and it stopped. The horse stopped and turned sideways, waiting for this kid to tell him which way to go, whether to go into the woods or out of the woods. And I asked him which way he chose, and he said, well, we went out. And I said, what do you think would have happened if you'd gone into the woods? He said, I think I'd have been gone. And I told him I thought he would too. And I told him that horse would probably come back for him when it was time for him to go. That horse would be the one to come back. Well, that afternoon, his mom was washing dishes, and the horse came. And she went to talk to him. And she asked David if his horse was there, and he said yes. And she said, I think he's probably here to get you. And she said, I think so too. And within 2 hours, he had gone. He had died on his horse. You feel a presence?
Well, yeah, let me see. Let me jump to this other story about a guy who used to be a non-believer.
Chief medical officer at Hospice Buffalo, but when he was first starting out, something happened that opened his mind. He thought a certain patient could live a little longer with IV fluids.
And I walked in, the nurse didn't even look up, and she said, no, he's dying. And I said, why are you saying that? She says, because he's seen his deceased mother. I say, I don't remember that class from medical school. She says, son, you missed a lot of classes.
But as he explained in a TED Talk, he was proven wrong over and over.
Everybody but me was able to prognosticate death, in part based on what people were seeing or experiencing.
He says doctors aren't trained to deal with these dreams, but he began studying them and realized they're therapeutic.
Instead of having this fear of death, it almost transcends the fear of death to something bigger.
In 10 years, he and his team have documented 1,400 cases. 80% of his patients report dreams or visions.
What's clear is people are universally saying, this feels more real and different than any dream I've ever had before.
We met one of those patients.
Well, anyways, thankfully, he's a reasonable person who, through experience, changed his belief. And now I think he wrote a book about it, but he's a definite believer now. But anyways, let me go on to this next video here. Yeah, this video, I just want to show just this here. I mean, it's just this whole video is a panorama of Mars. But a couple days ago, I posted a different video. It was a lower quality and I think had a different filter on it. But, the guy was trying to claim that this was some kind of light source and that this is possibly the remnants of an ancient structure. And, like I said in the other video, it's hard to argue. I mean, this does look like a wall, and this definitely looks like an angle there. And, this here could just be a rock. It just could, it just could be maybe a shiny rock. But for sure, this thing here is very strange. But anyways, the link to this will be in the description. Let me go on to this next article here. Yeah, this is UFO, the wreckage hidden by the Pentagon, the confirmation of DIA after the revelation of DeLong, formerly Blink-182, the metamaterials. UFO, the wreckage hidden by the Pentagon, the confirmation of DIA after the revelations of DeLong, formerly Blink-182, whatever. Only now it turns out that UFO debris is crossing the institutional task of the DIA, Defense Intelligence Agency, which monitors the armed forces of foreign countries to prevent and win wars, and in fact there could not be anything more foreign than a UFO. Here then is the resounding confirmation that DIA wrote about metamaterials deemed not of terrestrial origin and therefore aliens owned by the Pentagon and entrusted to the study of one of the most famous defense contractors of the United States, the Bigelow Aerospace of Nevada. The long-awaited answer came from the American researchers Anthony Bragalia, who appealed to the Freedom of Information Act. At this point, it is a powerful admission that reinforces what was announced in December 2018 in Rome during the annual conference of the Kuhn National UFO Center, attended by Luis Elizondo, former agent and former executive of the secret program, ATIP, Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, formerly ASAP, Advanced Aerospace Weapons System Application Program from DIA, and Tom DeLonge, former frontman of the American band Blink-182, founder of the To the Stars Academy of Arts and Science. Elizondo, now alongside DeLonge, a generous philanthropist of these researchers, said he left DIA not sharing the cloak of secrecy imposed on those programs. So yes, this, again, people who are still like waiting for disclosure are still talking about, when they disclose. Disclosure is happening right now. Again, and you don't need the government to release this information. This information has been coming out at least since the 1950s, right? I mean, this video here is from the 1950s. This is how could this not be disclosure? But anyways, let me go on to this next article here. Arthur claims this 200,000-year-old ancient city may rewrite history. Everything we know about history can be rewritten with one finding. However, while there have been countless discoveries made in the past decade, many of them never get the deserved attention due to selective mainstream scholars who will remain skeptical about everything that does not fit into their popular belief system. Exactly like I said. These people are taught something, or, they may have written books or have done research themselves. And if information comes that contradicts what they were taught or what they believe, they discredit the new evidence. One such discovery that changes everything we have been taught in history books is that a 200,000-year-old civilization that proposed in Africa, when mainstream scholars tell us there were no advanced civilizations there and that the first advanced civilizations in history of mankind appeared in Sumeria and other places like Egypt. Teaming up with John Hine, researcher and author Michael Tellinger decided to explore what mainstream scholars categorize as impossible, an area located 150 miles inland near the city of Maputo. There, a humongous ancient metropolis measuring over 150 square miles has conquered the terrain over 160,000 years ago. This ancient metropolis is believed to be part of an even larger settlement, which, according to Tellinger, measures around 10,000 miles. And I don't know if they mentioned this in this article, but, around this area is where they were mining for gold. This area with South Africa, there's a lot of gold there. And again, the oldest settlements on the planet. We now know, the people were mining gold. And again, like the Sumerians say, the human race was created to mine gold, which is why we covet it so much, which is why we've coveted it so much for so long. But anyways, the link to this article will be in the description. Let me go to this last article here. This is about the underground city of the lizard people. Deep beneath the heart of Los Angeles financial district, hundreds of feet below the huge downtown edifices that house banks, corporate offices, and government agencies, lies another city remembered only in obscure Indian legends, an underground world built by a strange race that vanished 5,000 years ago. At least that's what mining engineer W. Warren Schufelt claimed in the January 29, 1934 edition of the Los Angeles Times. According to reporter Jean Bosquet, Sherfelt was ready to dig up downtown LA in search of this ancient subterranean civilization. Sherfelt had first heard of the city in a Hopi Indian legend about the lizard people. They were a fabled lost race who had nearly been wiped out after a meteor showered rain down on the southwest back around 3000 BC. Arizona's famous Winslow crater was said to be ground zero of this fiery deluge. The lizard people constructed 13 subterranean settlements along the Pacific coast to shelter the tribe against future disasters. These underground cities housed 1,000 families each, along with stockpiles of food. As the story had it, the tribe used a chemical solution that melted solid bedrock to bore out the tunnels and rooms of their subsurface shelters. Yeah, now, we're definitely finding all of these underground caverns and things like that. I mean, look at Longview Caves. I mean, that cave system was built before people started writing, because there's absolutely no history of who built that. And the walls, you can see that there was some type of machine, because the same patterns are all over all the walls of this huge cavern. Yeah, check out I've done a video on it. It was one of the first videos I ever did, called the Longview Caves. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video. If you like things like this, please give this video a thumbs up. Please share this video. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'll have more things like this. Take care.